In this video, I'm going to talk you through a chin-up tutorial. Now, a chin-up is a type of pull-up where you have an underhand grip, so your palms are facing you. You can also do an overhand grip, you can do a neutral grip. There are differences between them, but for the vast majority of us, it doesn't really matter. What you do need to know is that having a neutral grip or a chin-up grip is far easier for women or beginners. And you can move to an overhand grip once you get a good number, like 5 to 10 underhand grips. Another thing you should know is, say for example, I have this neutral bar here, but it's too wide for most people. A neutral bar proper, we really want to have about shoulder width apart. So just keep that in mind if you do want to do neutral grips. Neutral grip is usually much more comfortable for most people, even more comfortable than the chin-up. But chin-ups are much more accessible because most people only have that simple bar. So it's much more accessible for beginners. And the second thing I want to say before we move into the actual tutorial is that I'm a big fan of full range of motion, everything. We always want to work through the range of motion that we have. And in a pull-up, that goes from full shoulder flexion all the way up to chest to bar. Now, some people don't agree with this and they think that it's bad for your joints or something like that to work through full range of motion. But this isn't true. If you build up towards it, our joints can tolerate working through full range of motion. We're not taking them into really extreme ranges here. We're just getting them to work through the full range of motion that are accessible to them. And the reason why I like to work through full range of motion is because then it's a really objective standpoint for how many you can do and how you're improving. So if I can only do one pull-up, full range of motion, and the second one I can't get past here, then when I get my second pull-up, I know that I've progressed. When I get that third and that fourth and that fifth, I know that I've progressed. Whereas if I'm working through a really small range of motion, like you'll see a lot of guys doing bro reps at the gym, you don't have a clear sense of an objective sense of progression because you could just be doing shorter reps. Like if I do 8 one day and then 12 the next day, it could be because I'm just working through a smaller range of motion. You'll also notice that a lot of them will do bigger range of motion at the beginning, and then as they get tired, they start doing really, really small pumpy reps. This does have an application for just pure muscle building, doing partial range of motion reps, but I think most people can benefit much more from gaining strength through full range of motion. So having said that, with that long preamble, I want to show you how to do a full range of motion pull-up. You want to start by hanging from the bar, either by climbing up onto something and grabbing hold of it, or from just jumping up. Okay, starting from that full range of motion, and then we want to engage our back muscles first, so pulling our scapulas down, scapular depression, and then pulling with our arms and pulling our chest all the way up. I'm after pull-up day yesterday, so we'll see, this might not go too well. So engaging my scapular depression, and then pulling myself all the way up, chest to bar, and all the way back down. Now, if we want to be a real purist about it, we want to keep our legs straight and we want to avoid bending our legs or bringing them up here. But it doesn't matter if you get to your last rep and you're tired and you do pull your legs up. It's okay to not do things completely perfectly, but we do want to try and maintain that really great, that nice hollow body range of motion, hollow body position, with our feet kind of pointed slightly forwards and angled up towards the barbell, up towards the bar as much as possible. So that was a basic chin-up tutorial.